history's repeating itself. I remember the late 80s when everybody was getting a .com URL. Well, the fervor is similar right now about OpenAI, and I've learned about it. I've upgraded my Google Alerts. I've created a virtual assistant by the name of Eric, and Eric is going to work with me to keep me up to date, scour the internet, what's happening with OpenAI, what's happening with Microsoft, what's happening in Google, so that I can know where to invest and then share that information with you. So that's what I want to do today. I've been working on this. I've created my avatar. I've created my search list, and I want you to be up to speed on Microsoft, OpenAI, and Google. So let's get into it.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Okay, what I'm about to show you is where the world is going, and you need to figure out where you're going to fit into it. And this is going to be Eric. This is my avatar that I've created. I've used OpenAI. I've used Google Search to come up with the latest information on what's happening between OpenAI and Microsoft so that I can understand, do I want to invest in Microsoft? Do I want to invest in OpenAI through Disruptor? Do I want to invest in Google? Watch this.
Eric reporting to Carrie of Best of Us Investors on the current and future relationship between OpenAI and Microsoft. The partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI is one of the most talked about in the tech industry. The dynamics between these two companies are constantly evolving, and the terms of their partnership are gaining a lot of attention. In 2019, Microsoft made a $1 billion investment into OpenAI, but it turns out that the company has actually funneled as much as $3 billion into OpenAI over the last few years. This is a sum far greater than what was previously disclosed. One of the key areas of focus for the partnership has been the strategic integration of OpenAI's technology into Microsoft's products. The application of OpenAI's generative AI into the wide range of Office products is seen as one of the most strategic moves Microsoft has made in recent years. The deal structure between Microsoft and OpenAI is also noteworthy. The earliest investors in OpenAI will receive all of OpenAI's profits until the entirety of their original investment is paid back in full. This is unusual, as early investors typically have to wait until an IPO or an acquisition before they can receive their profits on their investment. After these early investors are paid back, Microsoft will receive 75% of all OpenAI profits until its investment principal has been paid back in full. After that, 49% of future profits flow back to Microsoft in a way that basically buys back Microsoft's 49% ownership in OpenAI. This could potentially earn Microsoft as much as $92 billion from the investment. Critics have suggested that it may be a long time before Microsoft sees a return on its investment, but the strategic advantages and potential for profit through subscription models and future investments make this a transformational deal for the company. The partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI is constantly evolving, and the future looks bright for both companies. With the increasing importance of generative artificial intelligence in the industry, this partnership is sure to continue making waves in the tech world. Microsoft is currently selling for around $232 per share, $11 off its 52-week low. Microsoft will report its last quarter earnings January 24, 2003 after the markets close. Carrie, is there anything more that I can do for you at this time?
Okay, so that gives you a breakdown on the OpenAI Microsoft relationship. If you gathered the numbers, you heard that Microsoft's going to put about $10 billion into it and expects a $90 billion payout, which works, and that's supposedly going to happen, as I read it, within 3 to 5 years. That would give Microsoft somewhere in the neighborhood of a 30% annualized return on their $10 billion investment up to 90. So this looks like a pretty fat deal, which would then increase the earnings on Microsoft in the future. So I think Microsoft will buy. Wait a second. My phone is pinging. Let me see what it is. It's Eric. He's got another update, so let's take a look at what he has to say.
Hey everyone, it's Eric here. Sorry to butt in. I wanted to give you an update on the latest developments in the OpenAI space. Recently, we've seen a rapid adoption of language model ChatGPT by students and teachers. The quality of the AI's writing and analysis has been so good that many teachers have quickly come to the conclusion that the homework was simply too good. The speed of adoption has been nothing short of spectacular, even in institutions that tend to be very set in their ways and slow to adapt to change. In response to this, Princeton University students have created GPT-0, an AI capable of assessing the likelihood that any text it analyzes was crafted by another AI like ChatGPT, Google's Lambda, Anthropic's Claude, and others. More than 6,000 teachers at some of the most well-known universities in the world, including Yale and Harvard, have already signed up to use GPT-0. Since January 3rd, the release of GPT-0 has already gone viral on Twitter, with more than 7.5 million views. Universities are quickly adjusting to this new reality. Some teachers are requiring students to handwrite their first draft of an essay in class, and explain changes they make to future drafts. Other professors are changing the way they issue homework entirely, shifting toward oral exams, handwritten assignments in class, and group work that's less likely to be plagiarized with the help of an AI. This is a far more productive direction, as anything that can be done and powered by an AI outside of the classroom will likely be de-emphasized in terms of grading. The most obvious way to check if a student has done the work and understood a subject matter is to test comprehension in class in the absence of an AI. In addition to this, Microsoft has just made a big announcement that it's making all of the OpenAI technologies available on its cloud service Azure. This means that Microsoft Azure customers will suddenly have access to everything OpenAI has put out, GPT-3, ChatGPT, DALL-E 2, and even Codex. This is huge, and I have no doubt that we'll see an avalanche of adoption as a result. OpenAI's tools have already been used for things like customer support, research and analysis, data classification, and much more. These are complex problems that are expensive and time-consuming to solve using human labor. But with AI, these projects can be completed in minutes, and sometimes even seconds. Microsoft has also integrated GPT-3 into its GitHub Copilot, a service that helps developers write code. This will likely spur a productivity increase for software developers. So, all of a sudden, Microsoft has become one of the more interesting companies in tech. It's not an exaggeration to say that this is the single most significant thing Microsoft has done in at least 2 decades. By infusing OpenAI's tools, Microsoft Azure now has a competitive differentiation that none of its competitors have in cloud services. It's an exciting time for the field of AI. Carrie, I'll keep my Google alerts focused on Microsoft and OpenAI with a special awareness of how is Google going to react to all this. They seem to have been caught napping, although I did see that Larry Page came out of hiding and told Google employees to get Google into the game.
As you can see, this is moving fast. Eric has changed his look. He shaved his beard, he grew some more hair, and he got a little bit more handsome. This is how fast this is going. A couple days ago, Eric was the Eric that you saw. Now we have the ability for me to become the Eric in a different form. So this is how fast this is moving. And I want you to be aware of it. I want you to also to be aware that this may not be the best time to buy Microsoft. They're going to come out with their earnings, as the first Eric told us, on the 24th. That's where I'm going to take a look at it, and then I'm going to treat this basically as the Google of 1990 or the 1990s, when they gave us this revolutionary thing called search. Microsoft has made this available, or making this available, through its Azure cloud element. And I think, yes, there is going to be a tremendous use of it, like you just saw. That all has been generated through artificial intelligence, OpenAI, And I guess the video part of it, which is a company called D-ID, is moving as rapidly as can. And so this is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to create a school of financial education. And this is a look at what it's going to look like. So the world is moving fast. The internet is going to change dramatically. Does the metaverse start to look like something you might be able to recognize? This is what's going to happen. It's going to happen fast, and it's going to be. It's like Jamie Dimon says. There are some things that are the news, and there are other things that are the weather. And the weather right now is interest rates and inflation. That will go away. Tomorrow will be different. But this is today. The other thing that is today is the war in Ukraine. Our world is changing. Just trust me, our world is changing more rapidly than you have ever seen. What it took 20 years to happen in the digital revolution is going to take 5 to 7. Be here to invest in it.